Hey, folks, thanks for checking into the Neutral Zone Hotel. We are an unapologetically left-leaning podcast that focuses on hockey at its best and at its worst. And we like to spend some time talking about it. My name is Benjamin. My pronouns are he, him. And I want to welcome you to the show today. We're going to be joined by a few of my usual co-workers here at the hotel, starting with Emily.
What's up, everyone? I'm Emily. I use they, them, and she, her. Are we just skipping our fandoms this week?
There's only one fandom on this show now. We've been over that.
Oh, that's fair. Yep, you're right.
And we've also got SJ.
Hi, I'm SJ. My pronouns are they, them. And actually, this week I'm a Team Finland fan. So.
Oh, you're a Team Finland fan.
Yes, in honor of the World Juniors.
Okay, well, I will tell poor what's his name, Connor. Gee whiz, I had in my brain the guy from Heated Rivalry, the one with the nice butt.
You'll tell Ilya Rozanov that he's been
demoted. He's been demoted. It's all Finland now. No more Connor stories, but. We're also joined by our friend Discord user Krall, Mr. Ben Krall. How you doing, Ben?
Hi, everyone. My pronouns are he, him, and I have a complicated relationship with all Minnesota sports.
I respect it.
Our Facebook status is it's complicated.
That feels like the only relationship one can have with Minnesota sports.
Yep.
Oh,
It'd be nice to have a healthy one, but doesn't seem like it's in the cards with who I'm presented with.
I mean, you've got Quinn now, though.
Yeah, that's great. I'm just so used to having my hopes raised, and then the playoffs happen, and we'll probably get swept by the Avalanche.
You might get the Dallas Stars.
Well,
that's right.
That would be worse to get swept by them.
That's fair.
I can only assume that we will get swept by whoever we match up with because that's the roles that we get. Maybe we beat one and then get swept by the other.
Hey, but then you make it to the second round.
Yeah, it has to happen eventually.
I think
that's the spirit.
I think the Wild can make it to the second round this year.
I sure hope so. I don't want to watch baseball.
Nobody.
Fuck you. That's what I have to say. I'm wearing an Ottawa Charge shirt right now, so fuck you. Minnesota bullshit.
Sorry.
My line.
Speaking of complicated relationships with teams.
Yeah, no kidding.
Join the Discord and you can see me be really sad about the Frost.
That's right, folks. NeutralZoneHotel.com/Discord. You can join the Discord. You can @Krall, Krall, and you can tell him how much you think the Minnesota Frost should get rid of Britta Curl. Because God knows, sometimes I do. That's not saying I always think that, but sometimes I tell Krall about it. Folks, we're going to jump in and we're going to start by talking about the International Boy Invitational Tournament, aka the World Juniors, which are currently taking place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm just going to throw it out there. Who's gotten a chance to take a peek at some of the World Juniors this year?
I have.
Me.
I've seen a very small amount.
I'm pretty sure SJ has watched more games than I have, but I went to one.
Cool.
That absolutely counts.
I love it. I'm excited about to hear. I want to hear about every aspect of your viewing experience.
Oh, I can definitely provide.
Yeah, which game did you get to go to?
Yeah, for some reason, I ventured out during a blizzard on Sunday to cross the Twin Cities to go to St. Paul to see Sweden versus Switzerland, a matchup I have zero stakes in, zero rooting interest for. It just happened to be the game that was available to take my nephews as a Christmas present. And so we braved I think 8 inches of snow that we got. And we were about only one of maybe 700-800 people there, if I'm honest. The Grand Casino Arena was dead for at least until right before. It was very sparsely populated, but it was a very enjoyable experience. It's an arena that I'm intimately familiar with, so it's nothing particularly new, but it was well put together. They had more staff than they certainly needed for the turnout. The game was fun. The group of Swedish people I sat next to were having a blast because Sweden ended up winning 4-2, and but it was disappointingly Canadian free, but understandably.
Yeah, I attended Sweden versus Czechia last year at TD Place Arena, and there was a whole section of the stands set out for the Czechs, a whole section set out for the Swedes, and I think there were a few more of both because Ottawa obviously has embassies, so a lot of embassy workers went. But I ran into a gentleman from Kiruna, which is one of the most northernmost cities. And do you remember they moved that church? And everyone was watching them move the church?
No.
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So this summer or earlier this year, there was this ancient, couple hundred years old church, and they've been moving the entire city because it's too close to where they want to mine. So they've been moving. So they moved the entire church as one unit. They rolled it down the street. It's this huge church. That was very near Kiruna.
That's a very cool engineering feat, but also this is just like a baffling choice.
Capitalist decision.
Look, I wouldn't do it for a church, but the people, they feel very... Anyway, Kiruna is where Börje Salming's from, so it's a place that has like a deep connection with Swedish hockey history. And these guys go to every World Juniors, so they were probably sitting next to you, and I'm sure they were having a blast. But yeah, that's good. How was the hockey? How did you find the hockey itself?
It was fantastic. A lot harder hitting than I expected for an international game. That might just be old stereotypes being hard to die out, but when I think particularly of European hockey, I don't always think of quite as aggressive as we got. But it was a blast. I'm an easy to please, so any level of hockey I enjoy. But it was really fast. It was really fun. And particularly, I'm glad Sweden ended up winning because their goal song is kind of a bop, and I've had it stuck in my head since Sunday.
Which one did they have?
Oh, now you're going to make me look it up because I certainly cannot sing it.
Is it a Swedish song or is it
it's
something
like,
that people might know?
It is not something someone would know, I assume.
Because last year's goal song was this very Swedish bop, but the song itself opens with the Swedish radio call of the shootout winner.
It is that song, yes.
Yeah, it's the shootout winner by Peter Forsberg. In the '94 Lillehammer Olympics. So I heard the song.
That's so cool.
I heard the song at the juniors as well, and I thought to myself, "That's a bop. I'm going to go look it up." And then I pulled it up, and I got immediately traumatized. Horrible. I mean, obviously, one of the greatest shootout goals of all time, but yeah, that's good. Aka tre kronor, as they say in Sweden. Go Sweden.
Oh, speaking of the Tre Kronor, I have a complaint.
What?
Sweden has seriously downgraded their jerseys.
Really?
And it's upsetting because they always have the best jerseys, but they were wearing a really dark navy blue that I don't think looked nearly as good as in the stands. I saw several people wearing the more royal blue. That looks good. And obviously the yellow one is a classic. That one, if they ever change, there should be riots. But I was so disappointed because I was excited specifically to see Sweden's jerseys, and they looked too modern, I think, is where they looked like they were designed by somebody recently.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that they were just as bad in person as they were on my definitely extremely legal stream of one of the Sweden games, because they were just not good. And I feel like you lost any of the yellow. And so it was just sort of like a dark child playing hockey.
It looked like Michigan college hockey. Like, it was that like matching color scheme, and I naturally dislike Michigan, as all people should. So seeing that was frustrating. And then Switzerland's were boring, but they're always boring. They're white with a red plus.
I mean, you know what country they are.
Yeah. Just reminds me of the cheap backpack I had that I think was like a Swiss skier backpack that I had in middle school, because they had the same logo, and it's just traumatizing because it makes me think back to.
I still have one of those. Yeah, the navy blue for Sweden is weird because the royal blue is the flag color. Navy blue is not.
Yeah.
And it looks so good. The royal blue and yellow looks so good. Why would you mess with perfection?
Why does Canada keep trying to have a black maple leaf on their jerseys? It doesn't make sense.
Because it makes them look big and tough and manly or something.
Well, and importantly, you can sell new versions of the jersey.
There we go.
But no one in Sweden is going to buy it because the yellow and blue is like, you think it's iconic to look at it. When you're in Sweden, you see it all the time because it's not just the hockey jersey, it's the soccer shirt as well. So it's ubiquitous. Like, I don't know. It's very weird. Add on to the fact that when I was at the World Juniors last year, they didn't have a drop of Swedish merchandise or anything other than Canada and the USA. And I don't know how that is there, but maybe you can enlighten us.
They only seem to be selling World Juniors branded merchandise as far as I could tell. No country specific. And honestly, the merch was very disappointing. Not only was it's arena prices, so it's naturally going to be expensive, but it was like, I don't want to just see a logo of this tournament happened here, like trying to be a concert t-shirt, or it was very disappointing. I was ready to spend money on them, and just nothing stood out.
Mm-hmm.
Their big thing was for the tournament, they had jerseys that were tie-dyed, which I don't. Yeah.
What colors in the tie-dye?
Teal and white, or like a light blue and whites.
Okay, so no connection to anything.
No, yeah, like just it screams we got a deal on this.
I bet you it's the colors of the official logo, because the colors of the official logo are dark blue, red, white, and like a light blue kind of thing. It doesn't make sense. And I was thinking this as I was watching one of the games. It's like the IIHF World Juniors / World Championship / Women's World Championship logos are boring as shit. And they put these things at the center ice, and it just makes it look like crap, especially when you consider how good the center ice logos are looking anywhere else right now with the additional vector designs that they've been putting in the NHL ones this year. And to be fair, on the Golden Eyes logo at Pacific Coliseum, they all look fantastic. And the IIHF one looks like it's straight out of 1987.
It does look a little throwbacky. It's kind of like the skater come with a river behind him, and then in front of them is basically like a part of the U.S. flag. And I think the logo is very much designed to represent the fact that it is in the U.S. is hosting the tournament. And I think the host country basically does all of the merch as well. So
Yeah.
this is on the Minnesota team. That there's
That
no
tracks.
good. Yeah, that, you know.
But
considering the lack of Minnesota Wild merch I owned and knowing they're probably similar design companies that came up with them, that tracks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, you're probably going to do a better job if you think people are showing up. And you have to think that the people who bid for this worked on this bid, 3 or 4 years ago, because the World Junior bids are given out to you 2.5 years in advance. You have to think they were expecting a lot more tickets to be sold because Canadians will have gone to Minneapolis in droves in the past for this tournament.
Absolutely.
And they are not there. Like, Canada's games are at Mariucci. Am I saying that right?
Mariucci, yeah.
Yeah, they're at Mariucci, which is a smaller arena, but it's still 5,000 plus. And it's basically empty. It is wild. No pun intended. How many empty seats are in that arena?
It's extremely evident. And the frustrating thing is, you're absolutely right that Canadians are not traveling for this, rightfully so. But even locally, I've talked to so many hockey fans that had no idea that this was going on. The organization for this has failed in the idea of getting the word out, where I was talking to my brother and several other hockey dads, people who are naturally inclined to go to this kind of stuff, especially around the holidays when they have a break from games and such. And 75% of them had no idea. And the ones that did know looked at ticket prices right away and saw that a lot of these tickets were starting at $100 plus for random group stage matches, not even US or Canada matches, and just decided against it. To get the full every group stage ticket that you could buy was more than $1,000. And I'm sorry, here, especially when you're not going to see international travel very much, that's an absurd price to pay for an under 20 tournament, even if it's the best of the best under 20. That's not drawing power here the same way it is in Canada.
Yeah, it's not a premier tournament, like destination tournament, the way it is in Canada. Here in the US, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's ghettoed onto NHL Network and nobody watches it here because they can't watch it. And it's like, I would kill to go to this tournament. I know Seattle bid for it, and they lost that bid, I think, for this year to Minnesota. But yeah, those prices are absurd.
Also, I love Minnesota. Minnesota's a bad place to hold this if you're looking for travelers, just because we are far away from major populations. We're not close enough to Chicago to make it easy. And the big populations of Canada aren't close either. Like, we would have probably gotten a lot of Winnipeg people coming down because they come down for every Wild game. But like, if you're looking for people, like, I love that it's here, but it probably would have been smarter to have it on the East Coast or in Seattle or.
It seems insane that they screwed up the marketing that bad, because if they're going to insist on charging those prices, you need to start marketing that early so people can be like, I'm going to make this a big holiday gift to get tickets to this thing, because if I make this somebody's Christmas present or Hanukkah present or whatever, then I can justify potentially spending $400, $500, $600, $800 to take my family to go see one of these games. If you're like, oh, hey, there's a game tomorrow you could go see if you talk to Krall and know that it's happening, no one's going to drop that kind of money spur of the moment as a way to fill a winter break day.
Well, especially right after Christmas too, when everyone is probably broke because they just spent a lot of money. Like, if they have kids, they just bought kids Christmas presents. And if they weren't aware of this, that's another thing on top of it, where they could just take them to Zootopia 2 or whatever kids movies are.
Yeah. Then it's only like $200 for movie tickets and popcorn.
To give you an idea, the World Junior attendance last year averaged 10,200 a game. So far,
holy cow!
I would be shocked if they end up over 2,000.
Oh no, they're saying 6,000 a game right now.
That's a lie.
And I am assuming that's tickets sold and not actual attendance. I paid $49 per seat to see Canadian, to see Sweden, Czechia. And they were 3 seats up from my regular charge seats, which are pretty good seats, as SJ can attest. They're decent, right? So, and that team, every game that could have had Team Canada in it was sold out. And the resale was very high. And I went to the gold medal game for under $200 and sat in the 100s. So, and it was that, even though Canada was in that game, that arena was pretty full. 15,000 plus, I would say. So yeah, to me, it's simply wild where we're at right now. Going back in time, the Scotiabank Avenir Center in 2023 that had 7,400 per game, and that has got a lot of the same difficulties that Minneapolis has, being off the beaten path. It is on the East Coast, but Halifax is not exactly where a lot of the people live. And then scrolling back to before the pandemic, because the goddamn pandemic. Yeah, like when it was held in Vancouver last, it was 10,000 per game. And the last time it was held in the United States was Buffalo, and that was 7,000 per game, and that's right at the border.
Basically Canada.
Well, I mean, don't tell the people of Buffalo that, because they're really convinced of the lie. But but yeah, like I don't know. It feels like probably a lot of Canadians bought tickets when it was announced, and then just decided not to come because the tournament was announced and tickets were on sale last year. So they went on sale before the border got to where it was. It is.
Do you think the weather, I mean, you said you braved a blizzard to go see this game. Has it been bad this whole week, or was that really just like a one? Okay. So that's not really
Sunday was bad. So Sunday and any games after it, I could see being affected. But prior to that, it was frankly very nice. Like it's a winter still, so it's cold, but any local would cancel plans over. Certainly. It's unfortunately part of it is St. Paul is also not a city where it's a dead city when people aren't working. So I wonder if that, like, they could have conceivably had a situation, I think, if they were in Dinkytown at the university where Mariucci they're playing in, if they played all their games there and at Ritter, which is the women's arena, I think they could have had better attendance, even though they would have been hamstrung by significantly smaller arenas both times. But so many more students staying over winter break looking for something to do would walk up for it. A lot more people from Minneapolis proper, I think, would go just because it's closer and easier to get to for a lot of people. And frankly, there's more to do because St. Paul is a workers' town, and there's not a lot of bars and nightlife to do in between games. There's some, but I think Dinkytown would have been better for them.
I do want to circle back to what you said about how you were surprised that the game you went to was so physical. And I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that so many of these international juniors players actually play juniors in the US now, or in North America, rather. They play in the CHL, they play in the USHL. Sweden has 3 or 4 NCAA players on it. Switzerland has quite a few OHL and WHL players and so on. So like I think there's kind of a convergence as far as that goes. They still have plenty of players who come up through the European leagues, especially in Sweden and in Finland and so on. But there's so much just like North American juniors physicality to these games. And I think it's kind of causing a shift. If there's one thing we know about the CHL, it is kind of a violent league.
A little bit, especially the WHL.
It definitely makes sense that why it would be a little bit more physical, especially for this. It was after the whistle, a lot more physical, where a lot of pushing and shoving. Particularly, I looked him up because I wanted to shout out Victor Johansson. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Apologies to any Swedish friends. But number 9 on Sweden is a future Brad Marchand if he makes it professionally. I have no idea where he's at, but
looks like he's a Leafs draft pick.
Okay, so he probably won't do much, but
so
he was a 4th round pick by the Maple Leafs, and he
was born in 2006.
Oh God!
Who wants to guess what year I was in high school?
Plays in an Hockey Allsvenskan.
Hockey Allsvenskan.
Said he was from Boo IF, which I like.
One of the things that SJ and I were talking about as we've been watching the tournament is just Canada had another scare with Latvia. If you haven't been paying attention, Canada lost to Latvia last year. And this year, Latvia scored late to take them to overtime in a 1-1 game. So it's kind of becoming the annual tradition, Canada versus Latvia. It's time to pucker up and hope that you can get through her. But Latvia used to be the laughingstock of this tournament. So I pulled up the 2010 tournament, and Canada beat Latvia 16-0 in that game.
How the times have changed.
Times have changed. To give you an idea of who was on that Canadian team, just very quickly.
2010, can we...
So go ahead.
I was going to say, can we guess?
You can guess a couple players.
Is McDavid too young for that team?
He is. He's way too young for that team.
How old? Why did I suggest the game?
McDavid was on the 2014 and 2015 teams.
Okay, so...
He was eligible for 2016 and 2017, but did not go because he was doing something else. Let me see here. Give you a hint. Only like 3. Oh, SJ.
Was Taylor Hall on the...
Taylor Hall is on this team.
Okay.
One of these players is currently a captain in the NHL for a West Coast team.
Was Jordan Eberle on this team?
This is a Jordan Eberle team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
he had a big World Juniors.
Yeah.
Marco Scandella was on that team, wasn't he?
Sure was.
Team Canada for...
Yeah. Some other names you might recognize: Braden Shen, Naz Kadri, Adam Henrique.
Heard of some of those guys.
Jake Allen. Calvin DeHaan. Yeah, so good team, but not like the best Canada's ever sent. Again, against them was a Latvian team that had 0 people playing in North America or in the CHL. They had someone playing at Shattuck St. Mary's, Carlos Calvitis, who never seemed to do anything. And they had someone playing for a Tier 3 junior team, the New England Stars, which is apparently the league below the North American Hockey League. So that's not where they're at. And now we go and look at where Latvia is today.
Like 13 players in North America. A lot of BCHL players, interestingly.
Yeah. So you've got QMJHL, BCHL, USHL, Q, BC, OHL. Yeah. So quite a lot. And another Shattuck St. Mary's player. You've got someone playing in the actual in Liga, so in the top league in Finland. Someone playing in Hockey Allsvenskan, Czech Extra Liga. So like the quality, even though they're not drafted at this point, the quality of player has gone up. And Latvia, what's their best game for when they go up against Canada? And they were exhausted at their next game, which I think is perfectly fine. But yeah, it's these players are getting better. Everywhere is getting better.
You're going to get their best game too, because a lot of these kids probably know if they want to, if there's a future in hockey, this is a great spotlight for it. So if they can be the guy who scores the game that takes a game against Canada to overtime, people are going to remember that.
Getting goalied by Latvia is turning into a tradition. It's very stressful.
You probably hate to see it, but I can't say the same.
Same.
I love a Latvian goalie.
The ghost of Artur Zerbe is very happy right now. Not that he's dead, but you know. Any final thoughts on the World Juniors?
It looks so. I know we're only 2 days in, but it's definitely gonna be Denmark and Germany playing for relegation again. So
yeah, Germany has not been having a good time.
They have not. No, I feel bad for them.
They're looking rough.
Yeah. That's okay, though. Looks like it's going to be the usual countries making it through, but we will see.
Oh, I do want to bring up the absolute insanity that was that USA-Slovakia game. Ended up 6-5. Shout out to Slovakia putting up 5 goals on the U.S. What an incredible effort. I thought that they deserved better than a regulation loss. I kind of wish they'd pushed it to overtime. They really gave the U.S. a scare. And that's awesome. Also, I really hope that Cole Hudson is doing well. He had a very scary moment. He took a puck to the back of the neck, could not move, fell to the ice, and did go to the hospital, but apparently he was okay after that, and he was back with the team. He's gonna miss at least a few games, but they're kind of like, oh, he might come back for the medal rounds. So I hope he is doing well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was scary.
Extremely.
Thankfully, it seems like it was just a stinger to the base of the spine, which is not base of the skull, which is not great, but
no,
certainly
Could
a
be
lot
worse.
better. Certainly a lot better than any permanent damage. So hopefully he's doing all right and able to come back for the bronze medal game. Gotta manifest.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, they're really playing defense optional right now, so they need him. I didn't think that Canada has looked particularly good in their defense either.
No.
So.
Oh no, Canada's very, very beatable this tournament, I think.
Yeah.
They did not really get their top line going until the game against Denmark, which notably is a game against Denmark. Mm-hmm. And although the second line, led by Montreal prospect Michael Hage, that's been looking really good. But you need more than one line to beat Finland, Sweden, or USA. So,
yep,
we'll see. This is one of those tournaments where we don't get the Christmas Eve game between Canada and the USA because they're in different divisions. So, sad face.
I really think Sweden looks awesome this tournament.
They do.
They look so good.
I worry that they're going to play too conservatively if they get a lead, which is what they did for a period and a half on Sunday, where they were just content to dump the puck, let time run out, with a 1-goal lead. And I worry that if they do that against a slightly more potent offense than Switzerland.
All European national teams do this. They get up by 2 and then they play the trap, and it kills them. They didn't
even get up by 2.
Yeah, well, they didn't feel they had to.
Yeah.
We will see. USA versus Sweden, Canada versus Finland. Both of those should be epic tilts on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, if Sweden takes gold over Canada, then
that would rock.
Then Stenberg first overall pick over McKenna, right?
Could be.
I mean, there's already enough chatter about how Gavin McKenna is not going first anyway, so I do think that would firmly cement that.
Kevin McBusta.
They could start some kind of rivalry.
A heated
I'm
one?
sure we can, yeah.
Could be. I'm just leaving it as a possibility.
You are not allowed.
Heated Rivalry Season 2 takes place at the draft?
If 1-2 picks want to fall in love, they can go for it, but you are not allowed to fan cast every single draft pick into a romance show. We can't do that forever. It will get old.
I was just trying to create a transition point in the show. So.
Yes. Folks, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back and see you in a minute. Folks, we're back. All right, so we are going to shift gears slightly, and we're going to talk about the hottest thing on ice, which is the Crave/HBO show Heated Rivalry. We talked about this a few weeks ago. But Heated Rivalry has now, after several weeks of teasing, of taunting, of playing along, finally reached the dramatic, incredible, one might say soul-shattering climax that was always expected to hit. And everyone watching has cleaned up after themselves, and now we're ready to talk about it a little bit. So I still haven't watched it. I've only seen the first episode. I am going to watch the rest. I just haven't had time to sit down and watch it properly. But I know Emily and I know SJ, you have watched through to the end of season 1. So how are you feeling about the back half of the season?
I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I will say I am much newer to the franchise than SJ is. I basically pulled up all of the books on a library book site and crammed them all in before I started watching. And I thought that the back half of the season did a pretty good job. There were some deviations, which I think was sort of to be expected, but on the whole, I think they did a good job. And I know the final episode had got some like mixed reactions to it. I thought it was great. I thought it was beautiful. SJ is making faces at me.
I haven't seen the mixed reactions.
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind so the episode 6 is so like episode 5 is like the peak, the pinnacle. It's the climactic events of the show. And then like episode 6 is sort of a denouement. So maybe people just were like, weren't coming down from that high, or they were expecting something different, or
I think people felt like the final episode was a tone shift in like the production and how it was filmed and things. Like there's a lot less music and things like that, and that kind of weirded people out. I don't know. I thought it was great, so I don't quite understand people's complaints.
That's weird. I thought episode 6 is just like pure comfort food. I think I've watched it 5 or 6 times, and it's just such a soothing episode.
It's great. It is so fun.
Yeah. I like episode 5 is almost too much.
Episode 5 was a lot.
Like you just gotta sink in. You gotta sink into. I honestly think. So this is what I told Jess. When Jess was like, watched episode 6 and then they weren't sure how they felt about it, I said, sit down and watch it again. And then they were like, okay, I get it now. Like, maybe it is too much. If you don't let yourself just like sink into it, maybe you don't like feel like the right, you don't get the right feeling from it or something. I don't know. It is a very emotional, like it's like the whole series Okay, so just like to kind of pull back to 10,000 feet here, the first 2 episodes are very heavy on sex. They're, Benjamin is making a very suggestive motion with his hands, but that's like mostly it. But all of that stuff is mostly in the first 2 episodes. And then it kind of like, it shifts in tone from there's a lot of time jumps and there's a lot of sex, and like you're kind of moving through their relationship, and that is the start of their relationship. And then the tone shifts, and the episode, there's a lot less time jumping. You spend a lot more time in the same in the kind of the same moment. So episode 5, between episode 5 and 6, that only covers 1 season of hockey, whereas like every episode before that, it's like the previous 7 years of their relationship. And it shifts from like having a lot of sex scenes to just having a lot more talking, and the very nature of their relationship, it becomes both like less sex and more intimacy. So it's just like there is a tone shift across that reflects the evolution of Shane and Ilya's relationship. So like, and then like episode 6 is like that intimacy, because the whole episode is basically just the 2 of them.
Like it's like a day and a half.
Yeah, it's them. It is literally just them for a couple of days, like trying to work stuff out. And it is an incredibly emotional episode, and it's like night and day from what it was like in episode 1 of the series.
Makes sense.
And it was great. I loved it. I've watched it so many times. I had a friend come over for Christmas, and she doesn't have HBO. So we just watched the whole series on Christmas Day.
That's one of my friends texted me, I think yesterday, 2 days ago, asking if she could use my HBO login, watched the first episode and started texting me, and then by the end of that night had made it through the whole series, and then sent me like 97 crying emojis being like, what do you mean it's over?
It's over until season 2.
And probably 2 more years.
Krall, what did you think of episode 1?
I liked it. I am probably not necessarily the most target audience for this show, but I found it very entertaining. I plan on watching it. I don't know if I can say it any more eloquently than you describing it. Certainly a type of story I'm not normally a huge consumer of, but they got me with the conceit of it, and with I don't know if anyone picked up on it, but you can kind of pretend that these might be 2 real NHL players if you squint. So it was fun thinking how that could work. But no, I very much liked it. Hearing how it goes on, it makes me more interested, because especially if it gets to a point where it can sustain a day and a half for the final, or for the finale, rather than even in this first episode, it was 5 years almost, because
it starts in 2008 and then it goes up to 2013.
Were the Olympics in the first or second episode?
The first episode is their rookie year, so it's like the first, because it's before they're drafted.
It ends with the All-Star game, right?
Yeah. It ends with the NHL awards.
It's about a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so episode 2 is like 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And then there's a big time skip at the beginning of episode 5. They do several years in a montage.
It was a good montage, though.
I mean, Montreal won the cup twice in that montage.
So very clearly a work of fiction.
Well, the thing you have to remember about the books is that they are also partially and the show is that they are also a wish fulfillment fantasy for a couple of diehard Habs fans. In Rachel Reed and Jacob Tierney, both diehard Habs fans.
Correctly so.
So that wasn't like gonna not happen.
What do they have against Buffalo, though? That poor franchise is out here catching strays for no reason.
They caught one stray, and clearly it really put a fire under them because they've gone on an 8-game winning streak since that episode.
The heated rivalry bump.
Yes, I think the What Chaos boys were the ones, at least the ones that I saw, point out that the Sabres have not lost since the episode where they were like, oh yeah, Buffalo, what a terrible franchise.
The funny thing is the jokes, poking fun at different franchises, those are all in the books that were written years and years ago, and they didn't have to change any of them because they're all still like that.
Buffalo has not made the playoffs during the entire publication history of Heated Rivalries, and during the entire production history of Letterkenny and Shoresy.
Yeah.
Well, you want to hear what I thought about episode 1?
Yes.
Absolutely.
A lot of blowjobs.
That's more than 2 words.
No, blowjob's a compound word.
And I guess you can make lotta a single word instead of a lot of. Okay.
I did.
Okay. Well, you're not wrong.
Efficiency in language.
I thought it was pretty good. The lead actors have incredible chemistry together, which you cannot discount. And I know that's one of the reasons I cast them. The sexuality between them was on the charts from the first moment you saw them. And I think that is probably what people were hoping for. And there are a lot of good comedic moments that made me laugh. Be that in the middle of the dramatic scenes, the middle of the sex scenes, there's the right level of humor to keep me engaged. The film nerd in me thinks it's very interesting watching a gay man shoot gay sex scenes. I think that's very fascinating to see how it differs from what you would see on a traditional sort of Hollywood set between a guy and a girl. And the work of the intimacy coordinator is spectacular. SJ said they should win an award. And I said, do we have awards for intimacy coordinators? And SJ wants us to invent one. So I just want to say, hold on. Heated Rivalry Intimacy Coordinator.
I want to say her name is Shayla.
Shayla Hunter. We hereby dub on you the first inaugural Neutral Zone Hotel Intimacy Cord Award of Excellence. There you go.
We'll workshop the name.
I'm doing the knighting motion with my hands right now. Congratulations, you. No higher award exists.
That's true.
You should find an address to send a certificate.
Yes.
Misspelled certificate. If you find an address, I will get a certificate made up.
To the offices of Crave TV.
Please forward.
Attention, Jacob Tierney. Attention, Shala Hunter. Yeah, no, I thought it was really good. And I admittedly am looking forward to the back half of the series with more drama, but that's okay too. I think that people can like different parts of the season for different reasons.
I'm very curious to see what you think of episode 3.
Yeah. We've talked about this a little bit and how it's kind of the odd one out from the bunch. So
it's book 1.
Yeah.
It's just a totally different book.
I'm so mad Madison isn't here this episode because they finished the series and started texting me and they were like, So I also didn't get the hype on episode 3, which makes me feel like I'm slightly less soulless, or also just maybe Madison and I are on the same level of drinking the haterade.
It's really now like episode. Okay. When you're just like randomly scrolling the social media, there is like fans of the show. They either hate Scott and Kip, or they think the whole show should be about them. There's no middle ground. Like, there's nobody who's like, oh, actually, I really like both couples. I think, what a great cohesive show. It should all completely work together. It's like hate or love. And I just think that's beautiful.
I don't even hate them.
I desperately think Scott and Kip are super boring.
They are so boring. And they tried to cram so much into that episode that I didn't buy it, because it was like, you've known each other for 3 seconds. Calm down.
They also like screwed up the time. It
got weird.
Which made trying to put Scott at the Olympics while he was in a relationship with Kip, which made no sense. They should have stuck with the books.
It made the episode 5 moment feel very weird, because you're like, have these two just not been speaking for like 3 years and then this happens?
Yeah, and if in that case, how does Kip have those seats for the Stanley Cup final if they haven't been talking for 3 years? Because obviously the poor art history student cannot afford those seats. So like it was very confusing. All of the things that I've kind of identified in the show as being like, I want to say they're like kind of oopsies or like things that don't make sense were because they introduced a change in the show that wasn't in the books. Like who is like Svetlana's like father?
They changed that between episode 2, I think, or 4 and episode 6.
Yeah, it's very confusing who his father is, because they needed to put Svetlana in Russia, and it's like you did it wrong. So now nobody understands this character's background. It's like
because they changed it halfway through the show.
Is she the daughter of a Russian government minister, or is she an American? Who knows?
Is she the daughter of a hockey player? Is that hockey player also a Russian minister? Who's to say?
Yeah, very confusing changes. Although generally, I did quite like the fact that I liked 99% of the changes they made to Svetlana's character. Tierney made her a character in a way she really wasn't in the books. So. Yeah, that was my thoughts. I did have a list of stuff I'm going to be mad about if it's not in season 2, though. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
I'm prepared.
Ilya's loon tattoo.
They got it. They have to.
Stencil that shit on his arm. It's got to be in there. I know they got rid of the bear tattoo in season 1, and that's fine.
Because the joke doesn't work since they're not the Bears.
The joke doesn't work because they had to change the team name, but you cannot leave out the loon tattoo in season 2. I need Chiron, the Ottawa team dog, to be the cutest fucking dog they can find. That puppy better be all up slobbering, all over. Like, I need at least 10 minutes with the dog with the Ottawa team dog. If they don't do the babysitting scene with the Pike kids, then it's not a real adaptation of the long game.
They have to. That's like a critical scene.
It is a critical scene. Yeah, absolutely critical. Now this is actually a scene from Role Model, but I think they do have to do at least some of Role Model in season 2.
They have to, because I feel like Troy is an important enough character in the long game.
Yeah, 100%. I really want them to do the scene where Ilya and Troy go to the gay bar in New York, the Kingfisher.
Yes.
So that's got to be in there. And then I would like them to, like, Svetlana is barely in the long game. Do more with her. Just add her back in.
Give her a role.
Yeah. So yeah, I think she was great. And I would like to see more of her. So yeah, that's my list.
All right, Jacob Tierney, I know you're listening. I know you listen to every episode. So please make SJ and Emily happy by doing all those things they just said.
It sounds like they need to get EP credits.
Yeah, while you're at it, hire SJ to do a thing on the show. I don't know what thing that would be, but
I'll just take a pass on the scripts.
That seems reasonable. That's like a totally reasonable ask.
You know what? This is kind of apropos of nothing, but I don't think Tierney anticipated the level of absolute insanity that people would bring to their fandom for the show.
Definitely not.
I saw a post where somebody had like freeze framed the schedules, the scene where they have the schedules for Montreal and Boston like on the wall. You remember, that scene, right?
Yeah.
They do this scene in a montage, right? And they freeze frame them. Second. And they were like, why do they never play on Sunday? That's kind of weird. Like, you cannot freaking tell, okay?
If we're going to nitpick about the hockey, we've got bigger issues than they never play on Sunday.
Right? There are also it's weird how they play the same schedule 2 years in a row. And I'm like, these guys, come on, guys. They made this show on $2. Give them a break.
They couldn't afford to print out another schedule. Like, the color printing budget was shot. They're like, look, it's 75 cents to print a color page. We can only do 2 of those.
Yeah, that money was better spent elsewhere.
It's not that kind of show.
Also true.
Are you suggesting that the canon of Heated Rivalries is not taken as seriously as, say, the canon of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I don't know about that.
Well, I would also argue that you shouldn't take the canon of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that seriously either. And that's someone who dearly loves all that nerd stuff. It's going there to watch people beat up bad guys.
I'm really looking forward to your reaction to Rose Landry's acting job, though Krall. Yeah. I think you're gonna understand the reference.
Oh yes,
I'm very excited for this now.
I watched the show with my partner, who is a big comics nerd, and they were like, "I know who that was supposed to be." I was like, "Okay, honey, I have no idea what you're talking about, but happy for you."
Yeah, there's a Krall specific Easter egg enclosed in that character. So
I'm surprised I haven't been spoiled on it just from seeing other comic book dorks talk about this. But surprisingly, this has not broken into that fandom as much. I've been trying to encourage people, but most of the people I've talked about said they would rather it be a PWHL relationship because they are women who love women, and
fair.
They're like, I don't want to see 2 dudes make out. And it's like, okay, I get it, but it's really good if you like hockey. It's.
I mean, I don't find it particularly sexually exciting, but I also don't mind whatever you need to do to fuel your story, right? Like, anyway, see, the thing is, women in sports don't need social encouragement in the forms of fiction to love each other.
The joke I made was they couldn't make a PWHL one because there'd be no drama if there was 2 lesbians in the PWHL. It'd be like, add them to the pile.
We already have the Ouellette Chu relationship. Like, there is no fictional story that's going to be more exciting than that. Or like Laura Stacey and MPP. Yeah, exactly. Like, we're living that.
Yeah, they don't need to make a wish fulfillment fantasy funhouse mirror version of the thing that already happened.
My wish fulfillment lesbian PWHL fantasy is that Ottawa trades for Anna Shelbeen so that her and Rania can beat people up on our defensive core together. That's what I want.
That's fair.
Rachel
they
Reed,
should be reunited. Go ahead.
Can I make a confession about this? I didn't see any of the lead up material to this. I only saw it when this started to blow up. And sight unseen, I assumed this was an anime. And when I clicked to watch the episode without seeing any of it, I was like, oh, that's very different. and now I gotta say, I want an anime of this too.
Well, just wait. It'll happen.
I mean, it would just be Yuri on Ice, but with hockey sweaters instead of sequin shirts. But
man, I never did get around to finishing Yuri on Ice. I should finish Yuri on Ice.
I think I lost enthusiasm for it.
I think a lot of people.
I'll go back.
Oh, me too. I lost all of my enthusiasm for it that I never had. All right. The whole point is, folks, go check out Heated Rivalry. Make sure your kids are in bed, but check out Heated Rivalry.
So, Eric, I hope you weren't listening with your kids.
I feel like our discussion was mostly PG.
Until Benjamin's review.
Okay, PG-13.
PG-13.
All right, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. This has been the Neutral Zone Hotel, which is written, hosted, and produced by the Neutral Zone Hotel crew. You can find out more at neutralzonehotel.com/Discord to join our Discord. We are on Bluesky and YouTube at Neutral Zone Hotel. Thumbs up, smash the like button, 5 stars, whatever it is on whatever you're listening on. Help us spread the show around. And special thanks to our friend Mr. Krall for showing up, and we will see you next week. Take care.